Hey everybody, Gene here. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, where every single week we answer the most common and uncommon questions about tapping and EFT so that you can move past the basic recipe, mastering the art of delivery. You'll learn how to find root causes faster, clear issues quicker, and have longer lasting results. Before we jump into the show today, I have a really exciting announcement. Over the course of the last 5 months, I have been working on a project that I literally have spent hundreds of hours on. It is something that is called the Tapping Success Academy. And basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a resource that would allow you in areas of health, in wealth, in relationships, and in taking action, being able to get a lot more out of your tapping practice. That most folks that I work with are really good at dealing with emotions in the moment, making themselves feel a little better, which is an amazing application of tapping, but we can get so much more out of it. And so what I did is I corralled 17 of the brightest minds that I could find in the tapping world and did a bunch of interviews with them and created these master classes on 16 different topics that are going to help you to be able to get to root causes faster. Because ultimately, tapping is a really simple thing to do. You know, you tune into an issue and you tap. I've taught tapping on the back of a bar napkin in under 5 minutes. But that doesn't mean that you are good at it. And the podcasts are about the art of delivery and being able to get more out of it. And so in addition to these amazing conversations, which I was blown away by, I hope you will get half as much out of the conversations as I did. It was truly a remarkable experience for me. In addition to that, there's a bunch of additional teaching that builds on each of the master classes. There's a tapping experience that goes along with every single one of the master classes. And most importantly, I've actually created a journal that's going to help you to stay on task, because so many times I have downloaded digital products and I haven't consumed them. And I've created a way to help you make sure you stay on track, and created an amazing community online where you can share your insights with other people. It is one of the best things I've created in a really long time. And again, I literally spent hundreds of hours on it as a way of creating something that will be useful and transformational. If you go to tappingsuccessacademy.com, that's tappingsuccessacademy.com, you'll get all of the information and we'll be able to access it right away. This is Gene Montrestelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 497, originally aired February 3rd, 2021. Hi everyone, I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. Today we're going to be talking about and tapping for being worthy of transformation. Before we do that, I just want to send a big shout out and thank you to all of the supporters of the Tapping Q&A podcast. These are people who voluntarily financially support the podcast. Because they do that, they receive some amazing bonuses. And one of the things we do every single month is we take 10% of the support for the podcast and give it to Kiva. Kiva is a microloan organization which supports small business owners all over the world. And after I finish this recording and editing today's show, I get to do one of my favorite things of the month, is to go in and make those contributions. Because of the contributions this month and the repaid loans, because they're loans that get paid back to these small business owners, I'm going to get a chance to support 16 different small businesses owners all over the world. So a big thank you to all of the supporters of the Tapping Q&A podcast. If you would like to support the podcast so we can continue producing this high quality work, receive some amazing bonuses, and make a difference with small business owners all over the world, all you need to do is go to tappingqa.com/support. That's tappingqa.com/support. And once again, thank you to all of our amazing supporters. So as many of you know, back in December, I did a reader and listener survey. I really wanted to know what people were doing and struggling with when it came to tapping. And there were 6 reasons that were common. The 5 most common ones were the ones that make sense. I don't know where to start. I have too many issues. I don't know what to say when I'm tapping. I struggle tapping consistency. When I'm working on one issue, I end up unlocking a bunch of other issues and I become overwhelmed by it. And those are pretty straightforward. And in a lot of ways, that is the reason why I created the Tapping Success Academy, was to respond to all of those. But there was a 6th reason that showed up a number of times. And as it showed up, it was a little heartbreaking to see it. And the reason was, I am not worthy of transformation. This works for other people. It doesn't work for me. And the reason why it doesn't work for me is I am not worthy of transformation. And the fact that someone is writing that in a survey on a tapping website where resources are being provided means that they're caught between 2 things. One is they still somewhere, luckily, have some hope that transformation can happen. They still can be in a circumstance where they can believe it is possible to move forward, at least in some small way. And at the exact same time, there is this internal resistance that says, I'm not worthy of this. And if you've spent much time hanging out with my resources, you know that I'm a stickler for words and definitions. And 2 of the words that I bump into a lot when I'm working with my clients is worthy and deserve. And these are the ways that I define these 2 words. You don't have to take my definition, but this is the way I navigate it. Deserve implies transaction. If I do a job, I deserve to be paid for it. Worthy implies what I am made for. And so there's not a transaction in worthy. I am worthy of love and connection. Because I'm a human, I'm made for that. It is my birthright inside of that. It's not something I have to earn. Now, we need to show up and be present to have connection, but it's not something I have to do enough things right in order to get it. And when someone says, I am not worthy of transformation, what I hear is they're saying, there's something intrinsically wrong with me. And it's not something that I can overcome. That the only way I can have transformation is in something that is transactional. I have to do something to deserve it. But that is impossible because I think I need to be worthy of it. And so today what I want to do is I want to spend a little time tapping on that idea of knowing that transformation is not only possible, but we are made for it. And even if you are a person who is transformational, even if you are a person who believes that you are worthy of transformation, it's important for us to recognize that when I say, I believe this, that's an intellectual statement. And that intellectual statement might be congruent with what I feel emotionally, and it also might not be congruent. That I can intellectually understand I'm worthy of transformation, and there can be a part of me that does not believe that and might not speak it up. And so even if this is not an issue that is the front of your mind, even if you were filling out a survey and you were saying, what is your struggle with tapping? You're saying, I'm not worthy of transformation. Even if you're not the person who would do that, recognize that there is a part of you possibly that believes that. And it's interesting, just as I am recording this introduction, I can feel right in my solar plexus a heaviness that is showing up as I'm talking about this. Oftentimes, when issues show up physically in the solar plexus, they are connected with self-esteem and self-worth issues. And typically that's not something I struggle with, but it's worth noting, as someone who has tapped regularly with us on clients, who knows that this is an issue, that even as I sit here thinking that I am worthy of transformation, something is bubbling underneath the surface. Like I can, like it's, and as I tune into it, it's getting heavier and it's getting tighter, because that's what we do when we give notice to something, as it speaks louder to be heard. So all of that is to say that even if you don't believe that this is an issue intellectually, I would really encourage you to be open to the possibility that emotionally it might be an issue. So what I want you to do is I just want you to take a nice big deep breath. And I want you to tap on the side of the hand, take another nice big deep breath. And as you're still tapping on the side of the hand, I just want you to tune into that phrase, I am worthy of healing and transformation. And just notice if there's any tension or heaviness or anything that pops into your head. Also extend that out a little farther and just think of this phrase. Maybe even say it out loud and see how it resonates. I am worthy of total and complete healing and transformation. And as I say that, as I do that, I can actually feel that heaviness grow. And so I'm guessing for me, and this is something I'll certainly investigate later with my tapping, is total is the thing that's really kind of hanging up. That there's a part of me that believes there are lots of areas of my life that are worthy of transformation and healing. And some things, just because of choices I've made, because of who I am, because of not taking advantage of things in the past, it's not there. So do this for me. Tap on the side of the hand. Take a nice big deep breath. Now let's just move from tapping point to tapping point, repeating after me. Intellectually, I might understand that I am worthy of healing. Intellectually, I might understand that I'm worthy of transformation. But just because I can say that clearly, just because I can intellectually know that is true, it doesn't mean that every part of me buys into that fact. It doesn't mean that every part of me sees that as true. It is possible that there is a part of me that does not believe I am worthy of transformation. It might be afraid that since I squandered healing in the past, it is too late for me to have it now. It might believe that I have done things that are so horrible that it is too late for me and I can't come back from it. There might be a part of me that just thinks I've always been broken. That I'm just not enough. And therefore, I'm not worthy of total transformation. I'm not worthy of true, deep healing. Other people are worthy of healing. Other people are good enough. But not me. It is too late. I am too far gone. I was never capable of it. And this is simply not true. Even though there's a part of me that feels it is really emotionally true. There is a part of me that doesn't believe I am truly worthy of transformation. And this part of me is just trying to keep me safe. This part of me is just trying to keep me healthy And it is simply working from a misinformed place. I give myself permission to emotionally believe I am worthy of healing. I give myself permission to believe it is safe for me to heal. I give myself permission to believe that it is not too late for me. Some parts of my being understand this. Some parts of my being embrace this. Some parts of me see this clearly. I simply want to encourage this part. To know that it is okay to believe that. I also recognize the fact I don't have to believe this every moment of the day. It is okay for me to be skeptical about my transformation when I sit down to tap. As long as I'm open to the possibility of transformation, I can do some work today. I can create a little more capacity to recognize I am worthy of this. Even if I increase my belief in my worthiness of healing by only a few percentage points, it will make today a little bit easier. As I become more open to those opportunities for transformation. Transformation is not an all or nothing proposition. Transformation has never been an all or nothing proposition. Therefore, I don't have to believe all of the healing is possible in this moment. I can doubt my worthiness of healing and continue to heal. I can be skeptical of the possibility of my transformation and still have transformation happen. My healing and transformation is incremental. Therefore, my belief in my healing and transformation can also be incremental. I am made for healing. I am made for transformation. It is safe for me to heal and transform. And I give myself permission to embrace that possibility. Take a nice big deep breath. Give me a big stretch. And if you have a pen and paper nearby, quickly Just write down any of the things that came bubbling to mind, any of the yeah buts, the tail enders, the things that are revolting against what we just tapped on as if it is not true. One of the conversations that happens all the time is, should I use positive phrases or should I use negative phrases? And if I use negative phrases, am I going to tap things in that are negative? And the reality is it's just about tuning into what is going on. And one of the things that happens is if there is a part of us that wants to say something is untrue or is negative, all we have to do is say the opposite of that, and it will speak itself. So if you say it is safe for me to heal and transform, if there is a part of you that doesn't believe that, it's going to speak up. Either it's going to give you a yeah, but, or it's going to feel tense, or it's going to feel weak, or it's going to hold you back. And so pay really close attention to that. After tapping through what we just did there, take a moment and pause. I'm worthy of healing and transformation. Scan your body, pay attention to what's there, take some notes, go after that thing. It is safe for me to heal and transform. Same thing. Tune in, pay attention to what's going on in the body. And that will give you an entry point to go after more things. And if it's something that's too big and too overwhelming, maybe it's time for you to reach out to a practitioner that you trust. Someone who can do it in a way that is really helpful and safe for you to be able to navigate this in a way that is not overwhelming. I would love to hear your experience with this particular thing. I am always like, it's great to give people tools to be able to tap more efficiently, more effectively. Again, that's why I spent hundreds of hours over the course of the last few months creating the Tapping Success Academy to make it easier for you to do that. And if we have this belief that says that we are not possible, or we're not capable, or we're not worthy, then that's the place where we're going to get stuck. That's the place that we're not going to move forward in a practical, tangible, useful way. And so really tune into this issue. And again, even if you're in a circumstance where you don't think it's there, I was surprised as we were doing this. And I feel much better now. And I certainly have some things to investigate on my own as I tap later today. If you know someone in your life who would find this tool useful or would find this encouraging, please pass it along to them. Don't spam your inbox, but there might be one or two people who could use this. And I always say this, and it feels cheesy, but it's really true, that you might make someone's day just sending them an email saying, hey, I'm thinking of you today. You might really like this resource. Even if they don't listen to it, the fact that you are reaching out and connecting with them so they are not alone, particularly in a time where we're not getting to see people in the same way we once did. If you have a question, if you have a comment on this or anything else, please reach out. I can always be reached, Gene, Gene, at tappingqa.com. Or if you're on the website, just click on that contact link. If you're in the Tapping Q&A app, which is free for both Android and Apple devices, just click on that contact link. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, in addition to having access to all the audios like we have here, the tapping script from today is going to be there word for word. So you can just go in there and click on the script and tap along to it if that is an easier thing for you to consume than a tap along audio. If you haven't done so, also please subscribe to the podcast. In podcasting parlance, subscribe is always free. You can get the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, Amazon Music. You can find it on your Alexa. You can find it in Audible. Basically anywhere and everywhere you find audio. Just search for Tapping Q&A, click subscribe, click follow, turn on the notifications so that when a new episode comes out, it's easy for you to access that particular resource. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Montrestelli. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Montrestelli Tapping Q&A. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Montrestelli and Tapping Q&A.